Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Football. As usual, I am your host, Selassie Fiawi. Today we're going to talk about CAF's new regulations that they have brought out to help curb the COVID-19 pandemic and to help bring back football later this year. Now, I brought you a story here on this channel on the new dates for the AFCON tournaments that have been affected and the AFCON 2021. The priority for CAF right now is to play that tournament in January 2021. Because in 2021 is going to be a jam-packed year for football. So these are the regulations I'm going to take you through that CAF have brought out to help bring back football. I'm going to take you through some of the recommendations and what needs to be done according to CAF's 27-page regulation document that they have recommended for all countries in the Federation, African Federation, should follow in order to bring football back. I'm also going to tell you about CK Akonnor. Now, CK Akonnor, in an interview with GTV Sports Plus, reveals that he will have some struggles selecting players for the Ghana Black Stars, as we've had this lengthy break as well. He also denied reports that he is under pressure to select locally based players. As usual, if you're new to the channel, I advise you to subscribe to the channel and to click on the notification bell to get more updates. Before I begin today's story, I'll just have a look at the stats with you guys here on this channel to show you the impact of COVID-19 on the world at large. Now, this is the strength of the Ghana football industry, as you can see on your screen. Now, the Ghana Premier League, the GPL, has 1,019 players. The Division 1 League has 2,353 players. The Women's Premier League has 600 players. Division 1 and Division 3 has 43,700 players. And the Juvenile League has 23,000 players. In total, 70,672 players are out of work, basically due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, these figures represent only registered footballers. This is without coaches, administrators, medical and other essential service providers who are directly employed by the football industry. Well, I think that paints the correct picture for you to understand the situation we find ourselves in with this COVID-19 pandemic. It has impacted the world in ways we never thought possible. From financial markets crashing to football leagues being suspended and now resumed without fans. Most of the teams have been impacted negatively, and in Africa here, it is not an exception. Most of the countries in Africa are now receiving the wrath of the COVID-19 pandemic that most of the European countries received earlier 2 months ago in March and April. COVID-19 has come to stay, and without a vaccine soon enough, we will have to learn to live without it. So in light of that, CAF has brought out some regulation to feels will help to curb the spread of the virus, as well as help other players and national team coaches and club coaches continue their works and get their salaries as needed. Now, the recommendations that have been outlined in this 27-page lengthy document released by CAF 2 days ago recommend some few guidelines that will help to curb the spread of the virus. Basically, in this document, you get the story about how the COVID-19 has impacted the world and the competitions that have been suspended due to the COVID-19. COVID-19 has prevented the AFCON 2021 qualifiers from being played. They were supposed to be played in March and in June as well. Those qualifiers have been suspended. Also, the COVID-19 has prevented us from organizing the African Women's Cup of Nations, the CHAN 2020 tournament, the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup tournament. So many tournaments in Africa have been impacted. As I brought you a few weeks ago on what it will cost Premier League clubs in Ghana to bring back football, the tests and everything will cost approximately $80,000 for every club in the Premier League, those are the 18 clubs alone in the Premier League. I haven't even brought in the Women's Premier League and the Division 1 and other divisions. It is clear that it will cost a lot, and financially most of the clubs are not sound enough to afford all these things. But the recommendations brought by CAF are as follows. Now, this health protocol must take into account the following measures: ensure the availability of hydroalcoholic jets and hygienic equipment on all sites. Ensure the medical staff check the temperature of the competitors, that's the players and everyone. Ensure the capacity to isolate suspected cases. Ensure a healthy lifestyle at all sites. Submit each actor to the COVID-19 test 48 to 72 hours before a match and just after the match. Recommend disposable towels. Provide essential supplies and agents at all sites. Quarantine of traveling teams. Medical masks must be always available to medical staff and stakeholders. Give kits to athletes. Closed doors matches are to be ensured. No children to accompany the players. Prohibition of handshakes or hugs to celebrate goals. Balls should be disinfected several times. Enter the field separately for the two teams. Respect the physical distance in the locker room. Team staff volunteers must ensure that they have received information about COVID-19. All participants must be informed and cooperate with medical staff by taking the temperatures of their own competitors. Gather all the teams in a city in one place, and this until the end of the championship. Each team must be made up of 23 players, 10 members of the technical and medical staff, of match officials, the media, and all those who work in the stadiums during the match will all have to take the test, including the ball boys as well. Make the means available to the federation to guarantee the test. Flash interviews to be conducted respecting the physical distancing of 2 meters and more. No press conference except flash interviews for players. Use of 5 replacements, drinking break 30 minutes and 75 minutes, and discourage spitting on the field. Ban exchange of shirts, mask court for substitutes and supervisors on the sideline. So these are basically some of the things that have been recommended by CAF to ensure that we have football back safely on the African continent. Now remember, the test will have to be done before games, before training sessions, after matches. That will cost a lot of money, and these are the recommendations, and further discussions will be had on this, and to ensure that it all follows and everyone follows it accordingly. This is for the safety of the players and match officials and journalists who will be at the stadium, and I think it is in order. We all know what's happening in the English Premier League and all the other leagues across Europe. German Bundesliga have ended, and so many other leagues are yet to follow suit. So I think these are the recommendations that CAF have brought to ensure the safe return of football on the African continent. Let me know what you think about them in the comments box. I move on to my next story, and has to do with Coach CK Akonnor, the head coach of the Ghana Black Stars. Now, CK Akonnor was recently appointed as the head coach of the Ghana Black Stars, and he has admitted in recent times that he will have problems selecting players for the upcoming qualifiers. Now, we all know what happened to the other qualifiers that we were supposed to have, and we all know how he was prepared with a set of players. Now, with the COVID-19 disrupting football, CK Akonnor admits that there is a difficulty he has in assembling a formidable unit for the national setup. Now, the former Black Stars player adds that in selecting players to the side, there are a lot of things that need to be considered before a player is handed a call-up. According to him, a player has to be actively playing for his club in order to persuade the coach and his technical members to look at his way by handing him a call-up. You look at those who are actively playing in Ghana. There is nothing happening in our local league. We have been following players in Austria, Germany, England, Denmark who are actively playing, and we only want to pick the best and those who can help improve the squad. So yeah, it's going to be an issue for locally based players to get call-ups into the Black Stars, and with them not playing any active football within this period, and those in England, Denmark, Austria, and Spain being the ones who are playing football, we will have a limited number of players, and he will have a limited number of players to choose from. He has also denied reports that he is being given pressure to give chance to locally based players. I won't say pressure, but of course, the local based players are important. I am what I am because I stayed here and trained home. I can't ignore that. I'm looking forward to getting them involved, to come and believe that they can play, and will encourage them to work harder and to go the extra mile to improve. They need to come and believe that they can do it. A lot of former national coaches have had to endure massive backlash from the local media landscape for handing limited opportunities to locally based players. Akonnor, who has coached with the local teams, especially Kotoko, Hearts of Oak and Ashanti Gold, will be looking to back that trend. So that has been it for today. Looking at the new guidelines and recommendations by CAF in order to bring back football safely into the African continent. Also, Akonnor denying reports that he is under pressure to name locally based players in the Black Star setup. He has also accepted and admitted that with this COVID-19 going on, with no local football going on, when they resume international football in October, by the latest that I'm getting, it will be difficult for him to select players because he has a limited pool to select from. But let me know your thoughts. Who do you think Akonnor should be prioritizing in the call-ups now that we don't have every single person playing in their leagues? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day.